Alright, somebody asked, why do some people seem happy even when they have little goals in life or career? But some people have this innate need to improve in life. I see a lot of my friends who don't pursue career goals and eat crap and watch porn, but still seem so happy. So, some of the first things that jump out to me is you take somebody who don't have much goals, or they eat shitty food, or they engage in porn and all these things. There's a couple things that jump out. So the first thing is that perhaps they don't know any better, and for a lot of people who don't know any better, that's good for them. Maybe that's the cream of the crop. Maybe that's as great as life can get. Perhaps they come from very humble beginnings, or maybe they come from a life where they just always had enough, where they have always been content. So now we're talking gratitude. Okay, they may be just grateful for everything that happens to them in life, and as a result, they don't trip over the little things, or the little things matter also. um and they but also, to my other point, when I say they don't know any better, perhaps this a lot of people still are following the American dream. Now, if you don't live in America, the American dream is just to get a nice paying job, a wife and a home and things like that. But I mean, in this day and age, I mean, you kind of gotta have high ambition. You gotta have bigger goals to really get that house, unless you're a trust fund baby, and all of these things. And then when you speak on the people who just have this innate um, longing for something greater, me. All right, I can't look past all of the riches in this world, and I want my hands on them. All right, I know what poor feels like. All right, I see homeless people every goddamn day. Relying on the generosity of strangers, but through all of that, but in between the generosity, all around it, and on top of it, whatever, there's a bunch of people who act like you don't even exist. Also, some things, man, look, it's all an illusion. All right, you can see somebody that's perfectly happy, and you never know what they're keeping away from, what they're pushing away. A lot of people give off this image that they're happy, or whatever, because one, they don't want to be judged. Two, they wish that were the case, or they don't want to bring anybody else down. They don't want anybody else to be a part of that pain. And so this is their transmutation of sorts. This is what they turn it to. All right, for better or for worse. A lot of people who are kind of extroverted, who please the people and all these things, and just love to be around people, are suffering alone. I mean, that's not the case for everybody, but I got to speak on the fact that that's the case for a lot of people. And you got somebody like myself who's pretty much introverted, and sometimes I feel like I'm suffering when I'm around a bunch of people, especially when there's no, in my opinion, no quality content being passed around. It's just a bunch of small talk. But sometimes that's needed. Just to be around somebody, and with the understanding that life is precious. It can be taken away from you just as fast as it can be given. In fact, faster, much faster than it can be given to you. All right. You kind of in an incubator of sorts, not a literal one, but you're in the womb, 9 months, 10, whatever, or you may be premature, and then boom, here you are. Even though you kind of consider the life moment that heart starts beating, whatever it is, and very instantly can it be taken away from you. And then so it's just good to take it all in, to take in this life. And perspective is everything, man. I mean, perspective is key, and especially for me when I have to take into consideration the things that the how I can think myself out of a bad situation, how I can think myself out of a great situation. It's just perspective, the way you see the world. man. And a lot of people just don't require much. I mean, me personally, I don't require much. Like, I eat great food, be stimulated. I mean, that's it, and have some rest. But there's something about me that won't allow that to be enough, and I think that's great for me. I think it's great that I don't feel satisfied with my situation right now. If that should ever come a time, see, I'm hoping that there actually does come a time where I am happy with my situation, not so I can be stagnant, and just let it all waste away and I waste away. Uh, but I want to get to a point where it's like, and I'm as I'm saying this, I mean, I could be doing this right now, and I do have my moments, but I would just want to be at a point where it's just nothing but gratitude. You know, I want to feel this richness all the time. I want to have this abundant feeling all the time. If I can manage to make that happen right now, then I believe that would be uh, a very effective instrument to get me to where I want to be. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but you know, to the guy asking the question, like, how could somebody not have all of these goals and be happy with the way their life is? You know, you may not be paying attention to this, but this particular person who may actually be happy with with the little that he or she has, according to the person asking the question's opinion. But what you may not notice is that this person is probably actually progressing in many ways. Maybe this person understands that living a life of gratitude and appreciating what you have will only be getting more. That's having an abundance mindset. Now, it's a lot of people who may be millionaires who don't have an abundance mindset, and they keep finding ways to lose it, or they keep finding more and more ways to be unsatisfied with what they have going for them for whatever reason. And I'm a firm believer that if you can, and as I was just kind of speaking on it, but if you can find gratitude in what you have going for you right now, and you got positive energy and great work ethic, and you're very ambitious, then you're really gonna go places. You're really gonna go places. But as far as the person who may not have a lot of goals, eats bad food, watches porn, all of these things, there could come a time, because who knows how young this person is? This person could be 18 or whatever, 20. There could come a time where life does hit, and then it's like, what was my life all worth? What was it all worth? Because a lot of people do die in their deathbed. I mean, a lot of people in their deathbeds do have regrets. All right, so I mean, look that up, because look up the top 5 regrets of people in their deathbed. All right, and as people start nearing their death, or they get brushings with death, they really question everything that they've been doing thus far, up to this point, up to that point. And so it may hit that individual that, man, I've been here for X amount of time, and it's just like nothing. I've done nothing. I've accomplished nothing, and I'm really unhappy with this realization. And then you take somebody like me, I've done things that a lot of people my age haven't done. All right, so I've written the books and got the YouTube channel, for example, and I just have a perspective of somebody who's lived many lives. All right, but to me, I feel like, man, I got nothing going for me. At times I feel like I have nothing going for me. I haven't accomplished much, and feel like a failure. All of these things, and I'm 28 years old, and a lot of people around my age, they tell, that say, man, but you did this and you did that or whatever. But to me, it just doesn't feel like it's enough. And I guess I never really took the time to express gratitude towards myself for accomplishing the things that I did accomplish, for just setting out to do some things and actually finishing it, because there are a lot of people, no matter how small I think of the things that I do and the things that I've accomplished, which again to me doesn't seem like much. There are people struggling just to get to that point. So I have to take that in consideration. And unless something tragic happens, I'm going to be around for a long time, and I have a lot of life left to establish even more, get even more done, and but I'm not going to allow that to enable me to just kind of slack off. It's very easy for me to slack off. I'm a natural Taurus, man. I'm lazy, man. I like this. I like the stimulation. So that's why I deprive myself of things like that. That's why, I will have a cold shower. I will practice intermittent fasting and things like that. I will work out. I will deprive myself of television for a spell or two. So with that being said, man, I believe that pretty much sums it up. It does sounds like a cop out. It does depend on the individual, but I gave you different sides of it as to why that may be the case. And at the very least, if you're somebody who just, you feel insatiable, and you got people who don't seem to be insatiable, take it all in, man. Taking that energy, because just because you can find a way to be grateful where you are doesn't mean that you don't have to have a lot of goals. That doesn't mean that you have to throw away your goals, your ambitions, and all the things that you want to do. You don't have to throw it away. It's just that you're not burning yourself out by focusing on the lack and the things that you don't have, the things that aren't working for you. You focus on the things that do work for you as you work towards a better outcome for yourself, desired results. All right, so take care.